I'm not leaving without my money unless you want me to stay. You want me to stay?
How much is that gonna cost me?
$61.79.
Yeah.
Mandao of the Dead. Well, so basically the story for Mandao of the Dead is where a guy named Jay Mandao, he walks in and he sees a corpse and the ghost catches him off guard. He's the only one who can see this ghost. And this is like right before Halloween, more or less. There's a huge story that goes on here. And he has through a lot of like weird circumstances, he has a nephew-in-law named Jackson, and they're close to the same age, but Mandao is a little bit on the older side, it seems like. And his son-in-law Jackson does a lot of stuff that is, it's basically acting before you think type of thing. He ends up dating a girl that drinks blood. No, I'm serious. That's a thing. It's in the trailer, so don't be too surprised. And so this chick is borderline crazy, and because of it, there's a lot of stuff that ensues with that. But there's so much deeper into this movie than meets the eye. And that's more or less what I like about movies. I like to see meanings and content. So I could pick every little detail part of this movie, but we're going to be here all day if I do that. So we're just going to go through a lot of quick recaps of the story, my favorite moments, the music, some meanings, and yada yada, little things like that. So basically, you start off with Jay Mandao, and you have his nephew-in-law, right? And his nephew-in-law is basically being a freeloader. And being a freeloader is not so great. It creates a lot of tension, and Jackson tries moving out. Doesn't work out for old Jackson. Mandao's like, nah, you come back. I'm sorry, just clean your gosh darn tent. Don't know why someone has a tent in the living room. It's kind of weird, but maybe it's a psychological issue saying that maybe Jackson he used to be homeless, and that's why he has a tent, and maybe this is why he has such a huge attachment to the tent. I don't know. I'm just kind of speculating at this point. So, and then Jackson tries getting his ex-girlfriend back. She seems like a nice person at first, but as an audience, we really don't know her. And then, Jay Mandao ends up being able to start astral projecting. He doesn't know why. His cousin Andy's actually a lot jealous. Oh my goodness. And so his cousin Andy's supposed to help him through some astral projection. Not like training, but just kind of help, like show him the ropes type of thing. And this is when you really start learning more about Jay Mandao, because he's a freaking asshole at the beginning of the movie. But for good reason. His dad was so busy with work, he didn't spend a whole lot of time with Mandao, and then he was also like super hard on him all the time. You don't really see a mother figure in Jay Mandao's past, like at all. And so, knowing his backstory, you're like, okay, well, I can see kind of why he's an asshole. And he kind of portrays that onto Jackson, so Jackson's his outlet since that's his only roommate. And to me, that makes a whole lot of sense. But even though Jay Mandao's like really smart and he's established, he has his own place. I don't remember if there's a type of job he does have. His father was the owner of a cereal company, and Jay Mandao does get like some residual from that a little bit, from what I gathered, but not like enough to be completely okay, to my understanding. So I do wonder to this day, what does Jay Mandao do like on a day-to-day basis? Because this movie takes place within 2 days, nothing more than that. And so Jackson goes back over to his ex's. Mandao follows. Mandao finds a corpse in like the garage, and the ghost of the corpse ends up following Mandao. They use astral projection to help him out, and this is the funniest part. Once Jay Mandao is able to get the ghost back to the living, spoiler warning, Watch the movie now if you haven't. I'm serious. Okay, you watched it? You have it? Okay, now we're back. Jackson dies next. So, remember how I said this lady was a little crazy? At least I believe I said that. So, if I haven't, she's a little crazy, his ex-girlfriend. And so, even though they saved the ghost, now she killed Jackson. And so now they have to go back and save Jackson. And are running out of time, and he has to keep putting his body into like a sleeping state, like a coma. And that's what traps him in this coma for just a little while. And then at the end of the movie, after everything is kind of solved, he ends up seeing his dad through like, and in the astral projection world, like through the space between worlds, more or less. And his dad's like, hey, you want to come travel with me? And at this point, Mandao has redeemed himself. Like, he's helped others. He's gone out of his way. He's building a love and a care for his nephew-in-law, his taxi driver, which is also a close friend of the family. It seems like she's more than just a taxi driver. Fur is. And I'll talk more about her in a moment. And he's also developed a little bit of a friendship for this guy he just saved, right? And so everything seems to be good. They got the crazy girl and they got the cops calling her. So I assume she's kind of taken care of at this point. And so he goes with his dad through this door that possibly leads to another pocket into this space between worlds, or another dimension. Maybe it's maybe back to the past, maybe it's to the future. I don't know. That's what's so exciting about it. It leaves you off on a note going, well, we know Mandao wasn't the best with his father. But through what he's learned within the last couple of days, he's like, hey, I want to give my father a second chance. Which I wholeheartedly agree with that he should. And it makes me wonder what is going to happen next. So that's just kind of a quick recap of the story. Now remember how I mentioned Fur earlier? Fur is the taxi driver. She's hilarious, by the way. And he's like, oh, how much? Actually, just play the clip.
I'm not leaving without my money unless you want me to stay. You want me to stay?
How much is that gonna cost me?
$61.79.
Yeah, see what I mean by hilarious? So, they have like a little bit of a connection going on here. So he has to connect through Fur throughout the story, where Fur is the only way that he's able to save Jackson, because she's actually physically there and Mandao's in the other world. And so he has to connect through like the radio and to get her to act to save his nephew. And then she starts to feel more of a connection for him, but she doesn't fully understand why, but he more or less understands it a bit more. So that it leaves you off on like a really soft note. Like you want them to do more together, not like romantically, but like as friends, and maybe you'll build into something romantic. But as I haven't mentioned this before, but this is going to be 1 out of 3 movies. So this is the first one, Mandao of the Dead. The second one is going to be called Mandao Returns. The third one, I don't know, Mandao Apocalypse. Giving you some ideas there, right? I don't know, but I'm very excited to kind of see where the story goes, because using astral projection as a story-driven tool to go from point A to point B is certainly something that I don't really see in a whole lot of movies. I really enjoy the characters. The characters grow and evolve, and they develop in a way that I really enjoy. So Jackson ends up... Jackson's a guy who acts before he thinks. He's not very smart in a lot of areas, but as he has a big heart, he's just not good at analyzing things before jumping into it. And because of that, he gets himself into a lot of trouble. And he learns from it. He becomes more humble. He doesn't want to be a freeloader anymore. He wants to do more for the people around him. And Mandao is an asshole at first, and then he ends up looking within himself and going out and getting help from others to help other people. And then in return, he ends up becoming a very humble person. It makes you really enjoy him. And Fur is, well, she's kind of a jerk at first too, but she deep down cares for these people. these people, like Mandao and Jackson, she ends up caring for these guys. And she's more of a friend than just like a taxi driver. And you can really see it, although she has a really thick skin, so she has like a shield up at all times. She has a hard time trusting people. So it makes you wonder what happened to her past, which I'm really excited to learn more about, because I'm sure she's going to be in the next couple movies. Make that a thing. Yeah, sorry, was I whispering there? The ghost, gosh, he's not as memorable as I want to say. I'm kind of like reviewing this a couple weeks after watching it for a second time. And I can't remember the guy's name. He's an alright character. He's just someone who's there that needs helping. He is a bit on the funny side, so I feel like he's a little more of the comedic relief, but he's not as needed as the like Jay Mandao or Jackson. He is basically the driving point to get the story forward as to what they're doing and why they're doing it. And how do I describe it? He's all right. I just didn't really care too much for him. I just knew he was there for a purpose. Like, hey, we gotta save him. Oh, we saved him. Oh, now we gotta go save Jackson. And that's just kind of how that really is. He's okay. He's not a bad character by any means. I just have a hard time remembering a lot of little details about him. But he's a really nice guy who made really bad decisions, and so he has to rely on the help of strangers to come back to life. But it does make you wonder, how does he know so much about dimensions, time traveling, Halloween? So he could have a greater purpose down the road. Because he has a lot of knowledge about things that you and I want to have, right? Food for thought, I guess. Maybe I'm just overthinking it. Anyways, the story is solid. I really enjoy it. To me, it's like near perfect, and it's a great feature-length film that I could rewatch any day. As far as getting into music, the music I think is really solid. It's catchy, it's entertaining, it fits in there smoothly. And there's like this track that does repeat like 2 or 3 times throughout the movie, and so because it repeats, kind of like the theme of Avengers, where that repeats when it's necessary, I feel like it's overall really good, like a really good feel-good music that makes you remember the little beats. I think the composer just did a really great job for the tools that he has and the experience he has, or they have, right? So who are composed the music. I thoroughly enjoyed it. So like a deeper meaning to everything. I kind of went into a lot of that during the story. So, gosh, like there's a lot going on with Mandao of the Dead. I can't give you guys all the details because I want you to watch the movie. If you haven't picked up Mandao of the Dead, it's not free online to watch. So instead, I'd recommend you go, whether you buy it on Amazon Prime, maybe it's available on iTunes, I have to double check that, but it is available on the website for you to purchase the Blu-ray. And I highly recommend adding this little gem to your Blu-ray collection, because Mandao of the Dead is one of my new favorite indie films. I love it a lot, and it makes me want to go find more independent filmmakers such as myself and see what kind of stories they're creating. But I want to own my own Blu-ray copy every time. Having a physical copy in your hands makes it all worthwhile at the end of the day. Like, I have a collection I'm growing, and I want to keep adding to that collection and really gaining the knowledge and the enjoyment of all these stories that are coming together. So what would I rate Mandao of the Dead? That's a really, really hard one. To me, it's a near perfect film. To me, no film is ever really perfect. But gosh, the quality is great. Audio is like near perfect in my opinion. I love all the sound effects. The color correction's great. It's visually interesting. The music is spot on. The characters are great. And even though I don't remember every little detail, I'd have to keep rewatching it to start gathering more and more and start piecing it together. There's a whole lot of deep meanings behind everything. And I really feel like the director and the writer, Scott Dunn, did a really great job with writing out this character and the story. And I'm very interested in seeing what he has to do next. So that being said, I'd probably give it between a 9 and a 10. That's how much I really enjoyed this film. If I had to nitpick every little thing, I would have liked a little more backstory as to why this lady drinks blood. I just know that's been done throughout history, but like, what are some deeper health benefits as to why she's doing it? Maybe she's just completely psycho. I'd like a little more backstory on her. But at the same time, maybe it was there and it was just kind of cut down, you know what I mean? Like kind of cut out of it, just for the sake of pacing and time, which completely makes sense to me. But that's like really, really grabbing to find a problem. Because to me, this film doesn't really have any problems at all. So let's say 10 out of 10. And I rarely give out 10s. Yeah, I really enjoy it. So pick up your copy of Mandao of the Dead. I'll post a link down below. And I'll also post a link to the director's YouTube channel so you can follow along with his work, see what he's creating, and what him and his wife are doing. And they're really great people, and I highly recommend you go check them out. If there's any independent films that you want me to look at, let me know in the comment section down below. I want to hear your thoughts. I want to hear your experiences. Hey, Farley, check out this movie down below. Well, whatever the name is, right? Let me know. I'd be interested in seeing what other kind of movies I can dive myself into and look at, or heck, maybe a book. Maybe I'll start doing book reviews. Although books take me a lot longer to finish because I'm very busy lately. Alright, have a great day, guys. I'm done rambling for the day. I'll see you next time. Now, with that being said, take care.